Derek, absolutely delighted to announce Ronald Hernandez has joined the club. You want to start by telling us a wee bit about our new signing?
Well, obviously he's a player that we've been monitoring for a while. He first came to retention 6 months or so ago, and we've just kept tabs on him. Really, the recruitment team, one of the leagues we've been concentrating on, the Norwegian League, and we thought it was going to be a challenge to get him out of there. I think it shows you where we are with the collaboration we have with Atlanta at the minute. Atlanta, once we were speaking to their recruitment team, he was also a player that had flagged up on their system and they were aware of him. So I think jointly we got to get to know him a bit better. Atlanta have several Venezuelan players or contacts, and that allowed us to then make inroads into the possibility of bringing him to Aberdeen. So these conversations have been ongoing for a while, and obviously we're getting to they got to the very end of the window before we could secure it. And ideally we'd like to have got it done before the start of the window, but like everything, it's not straightforward and easy. So you've got a club to deal with, an agent to deal with, a player to deal with, and you know, having obviously when I first spoke to Ronnie, he was really keen to come and experience the Scottish Premier League in Aberdeen. So he's got 15 caps for Venezuela. Albeit a lot of these are friendlies at the minute, they've been playing a lot of friendly games, non-qualification games, but he's played up against, you know, the Argentinian stars, Messi a lot, Colombia, and he's equipped himself well. He's an attacking full-back, he can play as a wing-back, he plays like a winger in the opposition half. Fans will like him, he's comfortable in possession, good bit of speed about him, and you know, he's an exciting player, and I'm sure he'll fit in well here.
Yeah. 22, a young player with huge potential, and I know he's very well thought of him, and I know in Norway as well they thought very highly of him, didn't they?
Yeah, well, we've took the opportunity. I mean, we've obviously paid a fee for him to get him here, and part of the attraction and part of the reason we do that is because of his age, you know, as well. You know, it's we think he is a player that's going to improve. We get him on board with us, get him into the team, and hopefully, as I say, we realise that full potential with us, and you know, he can be a valuable asset hopefully going forward. But he's a young player, but he's done enough in the last couple of seasons to suggest that he's certainly going the right way, and I think it's a great coup for us to bring him here.
In your conversations with him, he's obviously very keen to come here. How much does he know about sort of British football?
I think he's aware, but I was first told right at the outset that he never spoke any English, which is obviously a concern. But obviously he can speak English. There's no issues in having conversations with him, which is always important in football terminology and the like, and try to settle in a different environment, a different country. But you know, it helps us really and gives us a bit more peace of mind that he's went to Norway, settled in there. You know, he's dealt with the climate and the change and all the rest of it. But he is bright, eager, fully aware of British football. Obviously, he'll soon get to know Scottish football a lot more, but he's a boy who's eager to get started and make an impression.
And you mentioned about the partnership with Atlanta, as you say, the recruitment department is obviously working closely together, and that just shows how strong the partnership is and the benefits of it.
Yeah, I think we're going to see loads of benefits, but that's part of the reason this one's one that we've managed to pull off. There's been loads of others we've been in conversations with and collaborations with to try, and it doesn't always end up in a signing, but I think it gives you the confidence, you know, as well. It's good that we've flagged him up. He was a player of interest to us. We felt that to get him here, we maybe needed that help with the Venezuelan contacts that Atlanta clearly had. But it was interesting. Obviously, we've been telling him certain positions we're keen to address over the next wee while. And he was on the same system as one of interest for them. So, and I do think that having the ability to contact the agent direct and try and get things moving along helped in all of this as well. So it's a great example really how it can work.
It was great news. We look forward to welcome to the club. But you must be pleased with it, the window overall. Real three quality players with Dylan and Matty as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think McGeoch is one who we feel we get a level of trust in the performance. You know, somebody who takes responsibility. We're trying to get Dylan up to speed and let any signing you get, a lot of the time you get them because they've not been playing, and sometimes that has even more of an impact in January because you go into the games really thick and fast. And but he's managed to play the 3 games in a week there. He's working towards his best. Kennedy, I think, will be a very good signing for us. I think he gives us a bit of what we needed in the team. A bit more speed, a bit more directness, a bit more cockiness and confidence in the final bit. I think he'll chip in with goals and important goals for us, and we've always had that with our wide players over the years, and I think that that's something I think Matty can bring to us. I think he'll fit right in. And obviously with Hernandez coming in now, we've identified a position that we feel can get a type of player who can give us a real attacking threat. And again, you know, it's trying to be more attacking as a team, bring more speed, bring more creativity. And I think all 3 players will help the current players we've got here, the squad, to deliver that in the second half of the season, because we've got so much to play for still. I know we've been beaten up a wee bit, and I know that the season has been far from eventful and we've not had too many highlights, but for me, you know, finishing third is still a big deal for us. It's important we qualify for Europe, and all we're thinking about is finishing third, having a brilliant cup run, hopefully go all the way in the cup, and hopefully those improvements will come with these 3 types of players, the players we have here. Hopefully we can look forward to watching more of the team this season perform the way we expect them to perform.
Just finally, Derek, I was going to say that every signing is never straightforward, is it? And there's just so much work goes on behind the scenes, isn't it? Obviously you're involved heavily, the video guys, Ross Richardson, the board, Stephen Gunn and his team, not to mention agents as well. So when you get them over the line, it's always a good feeling, isn't it? Yeah,
and in this instance, it's trying to, there's a lot of protocol, you know, with permits and getting people out there. So obviously we've had club representatives out in Paris and doing the medical in Paris to try and make sure everything goes when you're pushed against the time before we beat the transfer deadline. And it's just the way with the whole of January, and a lot of the time people don't actually start to motor and move until the last few days. This is a signing we've been wanting to do since the start of the window. But for one reason or another, as you say, complications, getting things agreed, but thankfully we've managed to get there. There's been a lot of work done from a lot of people, you know, the administrative side, but you know, the recruitment team, they can only, you know, put players' names forwards and see if we can do it. First protocol was normally the affordability of it, and once we knew we could, there's a deal to be done there to bring them, we did all we could to make it happen.